Sushi.
Yeah.
Give me your sushi. But I'm not gonna eat it, because I'm a finicky cat.
I'm just gonna smell it.
I'm gonna put some boogers on it and see if you want it. After. And then I'm gonna meow and claw you. And probably leave. And you're gonna have to make that decision. Whether or not you're gonna eat booger sushi. Oh. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Threat of Intimacy. I am your host, Solo Darling, and with us today is our main editor-in-chief media majoris, Tucker.
Hey guys.
See, I told you I'd come up with a title.
Really long name, lots of little jobs.
Thank you, and thanks for being here. It is Sushi Sunday too.
Yeah.
We've cashed in on the Sushi Sunday. Oh my god. Yeah, so apologies. We had to start a half hour later today than normal. I kept glitching out.
Yeah, that screen was acting really weird.
Feel like the screen was trying to tell me something.
Yeah.
I've been
It wanted you to be in two places at once. It was like half of you was going this way, the other half's going that way.
It's really adjusted to my normal living.
We're a little bit blue, we're a little bit red.
I don't know.
It wasn't fun at all. Let's see. So, what are we talking about today?
Oh, sorry, I had a giant
I
piece of sushi in my mouth.
No,
Today I got a salmon avocado roll, keeping it light, and then on the other side of the scale I got a filet mignon shrimp tempura. It seemed like all the options were either spicy tuna or shrimp tempura today. I don't know where the other ones went. I don't know where everything else went. Yeah, I feel like there's probably tons to talk about once we get going. Is it we're episode 6 today? Are we episode 5?
No, it's episode
6?
Yeah, 36 episodes.
Oh my god. And here I wrote 5. I wrote 5 twice then in my notebook
Yeah,
because
number
I'm
5.
asleep. Hey Darcy, what's up today? Happy Sunday. We're having a casual threat of intimacy here. Oh, look at that. Look at it coming up in the chat. So we're experimenting with a new format, as you can see. We painted the bricks purple. It was only a matter of time, though.
I feel all day to paint those bricks.
Yeah, it literally, I saw you by hand
I know.
painting those
Each
bricks.
Pixel.
Each pixel.
Little pixel. Gotta make sure everything's right.
It is bizarre to hear you and hear you because
Yeah.
I have the headphones on.
Yeah, that's why I haven't put mine on.
Oh, I have a little bit. I have
don't want to live in an echo chamber.
So many do.
I know.
I was trying.
Some people don't even know they're in there.
I was trying to not throw shade, but I was like, it's coming out of my mouth. I can't stop it. Shade. Hey, Mizan! Welcome to the Threat of Intimacy Q&A edition, a special 6th episode where we're just gonna hang out, eat some sushi, probably Polaroid and see what develops, and also we're open to your questions in live time. I've written down a bunch that over the last, because we were doing this every other week, and this is the 6th episode, right? So I've been at this now for a little while.
Yeah. Technically, 8 weeks?
Yeah, just about. I was like, oh, it's a 2-month baby.
Yep.
Yeah, look at it go. And so I've been writing some stuff down and looking some stuff up, and we're just here to hang out and go through some cool stuff. I think there's a lot of really big topics in the questions too, so a part of me is we're just gonna chill and keep it super light because I see the words, y'all don't see them because you submitted them. You brought them to us. And obviously, as you know, Thor is the manager of all the emails, so he's the one that you are emailing your requests in or DMing. Yeah, look at this roll. This roll's This roll is like the size of my eye.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
See, Mizan, I don't think we have to stretch it. That's the thing. I think it's very dense material. I was actually concerned with keep my hand under here. I was concerned with like not having enough time and also like wanting to research more things, but I have the Discord that I can put some references in and resources and people that I'd recommend to look up if you're, curious about things. Like I have questions about how do you know when you're crossing a boundary, or respect, or the prospect of being out of a league, like just to give you like a brush up on some of these things that could be talked about for hours at least. I don't know about y'all, but us two can.
Episodes.
Mm-hmm.
That could be one of those topics. Could be an entire episode itself.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd really like to hear what the audience wants to ask us on the fly. How often do you get to speak to the entire production team, including the dog?
Yeah, including the dogs. I think Loki has a bone to pick with boundaries.
Oh, right now, yeah.
Loki's all about boundaries.
There's a small invisible wall.
All right, let's go with league. I know that's going to be one of Tucker's favorite topics. You're always fighting out of your league. So what does that mean to you, Mizan? If you want to give us a little bit here of like, so the phrase is, or basically I wrote it down as like a discussion about how do we feel about the phrase and its many uses, because it's not just used in like one way, right? It's used as like, oh, they're out of my league, or it'd be like, or in different situations, friends could tell somebody, that person, like, you're out of their league, right? Like, it could be flipped. So there's like a million ways to hear that, but in any situation, I feel like it causes a bit of a unevenness.
Yeah, definitely. It either comes from a point where if you're saying, they're out of my league, what do you think of yourself at that point?
Yeah.
Like, what's your baseline? And like, how have they already surpassed that? And what's keeping your interest in them if they've already passed that? Because the way it sounds, it's almost like there's already such a large gap that you're putting in your head first. Why even try if you're going to have that type of mindset?
Yeah. So what are you like?
Clearly, you're still attached to them.
What are we looking for when we're putting ourselves in the shoe of that person is out of my league? That's creating a dissonance within the self. It's creating, for me, hearing that, like when I hear people say that, then I want to ask, or I wonder, like, well, then why? What is so extraordinary about that person and not yourself? And also, I find in my bold ass experience, my fine wine experience of an age, that the people that get put on those pedestals, like, we know nothing about them.
Yes.
We've idolized them, we've romanticized them, we've not lived with them, we've not gone through hardships with them, we don't know how they approach conflict, we don't know how they love themselves, we don't know how they love other people, we don't know if they wipe from back to front or front to back. We have no idea. But we've idolized them in such a way that we've almost made it impossible to meet up to these weird standards we've created for ourselves about a person.
Yeah. And how does that make them feel when you actually do have that conversation with them?
When I've been approached like that, where I've been told that I'm out of someone's league, I feel very uncomfortable.
I can imagine.
Because then I feel that... All right, if you want to fucking go right to brass tacks. I waited longer than the 8 seconds before I dropped the F-bomb. When I am trying to pursue someone that I'm interested in, and I talk to them, and I hear a self-worth issue or a self-love issue, I know it's dead on arrival. Because they're never going to be able to love me the way that, I'll be able to love them, and I'll be able to love myself. And they're not going to give themselves the love they need to be able to withstand the tough hardships in a relationship that I know I will need them for. And I don't need them to supplement me. I want to make this nuance very clear before I continue here. I don't need that person to supplement, to make me happy. I don't need them to fill a void within me. But if I hear someone struggle with that dissonant perspective, then I worry that they don't have enough love for themselves, where they won't even be able to love me. Because there's a whole self and a whole relationship. So there's so much love that's going to be needed, and so much forgiveness and so much empathy that's going to be needed in a relationship. So if I'm coming into it knowing I don't need a person to fill that I want to share with them, but they're already creating like a filling look at a relationship, there's no way I could even get to the good part with that person.
Yeah, they already think you're already trying to fill a role for them.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, it's like, what do they give you from having that point of view? By putting you on a pedestal.
Right.
You know, it doesn't actually give you anything, because
why am I going to hang out with them?
Yeah, they're already admitting that you are what gives them their happiness. So by you just being here doing nothing fulfills that.
Yeah, it's not.
One is an awkward feeling in itself.
It's awkward. It's so awkward. I already know. I've been in that position,
it's like
and I'm like,
automatically being objectified.
Yeah, it's automatically being objectified. I'm like, but you don't know anything about me. It also makes it impossible for me to feel like I'm allowed to be human. So now I have to live up to these like unimaginable standards of being perfect for this human, when I'm a human being that's gonna say things out of turn and make mistakes and get stressed out. And like, my camera was glitching, and I was like trying to make jokes to manage my stress, to stay in a joyful mood, because I really enjoy doing this show. But I was like,
sat right next to each other for you guys, just sharing a chair.
Yeah, we
needed to get on.
We needed to get on this. So we were like, I don't know what to do. The camera's not working.
Just push the chairs together.
We pushed the chairs.
Sit like a school photo.
One of us will be a floaty head.
Yep.
Like, we're just trying to, right? But it takes that.
Because clearly my camera, when it's not on the pets, does not want to function.
But it takes that level of understanding, or willingness to understand. Because, like, I need to be able to turn off. I need to be able to relax. And I've met so many good people. I've met such wonderful like men and women that like I would have enjoyed to pursue, just, you know, to see what they were about, to have an adventure, to have a chapter in life, to go on a trip that cost me way too much money, like any of those things. But I can't get past that if there's like, if I'm on a pedestal, or if that person is on a pedestal and I'm putting them on a pedestal, like, yo, like that person on a pedestal has nowhere to go when they need to fart. They have nowhere to go when they need to be a human being. I was
just going to say that. When you step off the pedestal and you want to go down to their league, what does that even look like?
What does it look like? And why would you talk about yourself like that? Like, don't talk about yourself like that.
The way you would be able to come down, they clearly don't feel like they can go up. So.
Right. And then, so I think it's a really interesting thing. We also have first time chat here. Oh, hey, Van. You can't find what you want. Can you elaborate on that a little bit more? And if you do want to elaborate by chat, just like let me know. If you want to hop off there, I'll try to add a little bit of a something for you to call in. But definitely type in and let us know a little bit more. Like, what are you looking for? How are you approaching it? Those would be the questions I ask. Yeah. If you can't find what you want, what are the questions you've asked? When I can't find what I want, the questions that I ask myself are, where am I at? How am I putting myself out there? Am I looking for familiarity? Am I looking for the same thing as before? Like, am I looking for something like comfort that's within a pattern that I'm trying to break? Like, who am I attracting? I don't know.
Also, it might be a needs thing.
Could be a needs thing.
You want a lot of things. Like, you wants are essentially
that's a good point.
Thoughts. But when you're looking at like a long-term relationship, it's going to be needs. Like, what do you need in a partner for something to progress? What you want in a partner might be something that's very surface level. and you're not happy because you may be getting these surface level things in very small increments, but what you actually need from a partner isn't being addressed.
Mm-hmm.
So they may seem like this person's a great match for you, but you've never seen them at your lowest, or they've never seen you at your lowest. Are you frustrated?
Yeah.
Or how you two can problem solve together. Like things
How to soothe and being soothed and like get through like trauma or traumatic events or things like that. That's always so important too.
Well, what are some of, if you don't mind answering, what are some of the things that you feel like you need in a relationship?
Yeah, it's need and wants are different.
Yeah.
Like, I look at what I need. Like, the wants come with the needs.
Yes.
And I know that that's going to sound like, that can sound like a bit like, one of those like slogans, right? Like, you may not, it's in a song, right? Like, you get what you need, right? But it's true. Like, when you go for what you actually need with what's aligned in you, with what fits in your actual groove, the wants kind of come with that.
Okay, so you're saying what you want is comfort, peace, and laughter.
Yeah, that's what he's saying he needs.
Things that you can find within yourself? Because once you kind of have a grip on that, you're going to outwardly share those things. And it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy the other way around. Like, the more you take care of yourself, the more other people are going to see that, and the more you're going to attract those same type of qualities. So if you're looking for comfort, peace, and laughter and love, you have to treat yourself that way, or find those things within yourself in little increments.
If I look inside, I can take care of myself and be happy. That's true.
Yeah.
And it is different to want it. So, like, I do want to kind of, like, preface that I don't think you can just have one and just have the other. Like, I don't think, like, oh, everything you can get from yourself, you can only get from yourself, and you don't need it in a partner. No. I think, like, what I believe is that we should be able to understand how to find those things and nurture those things and cultivate those things within ourselves and the home we want, to be able to share and also foster that within the relationship, to be able to receive those things as well. There's also the factor of being able to cultivate something like happiness and comfort dictates to a partner how you want to be treated, what is a standard for the relationship. That might be something they need as well. It'll allow them to then reciprocate that comfort and happiness. Those things are symbiotic. And it falls in line with what Tucker is saying about that kind of emitting those things, attract those things. So, where do you find that you haven't found it?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like
where have you been looking?
Where have you been looking, or what's the thing? Like, bring it to us. What's the thing? It's very broad to say, well, I can't find what I want. Well, okay.
Also, have you tried looking outside of your area? Even if it's just a little bit.
It's tough, yeah.
It is. But sometimes, it's difficult, but going long distance or being willing to move to a new place or start something new might be what causes that catalyst.
Why don't you get out? Are you unable to? Because it's hard. I work from home and remote. It was very tough to leave when I was in school. I was, like, unable to do anything. That's Meeson. That's funny as hell. Dark, cold, and barren. These single streets. Yo, I feel you.
Flashlight, man.
Yo, the dating scene is rough. But we're here for you, and we're happy to talk about that today. If y'all want to talk about your dating and bring us what's going on, like, we're here. I definitely think that we could lose the out of your league perspective and all things with it. Yeah, what up, Breeze? First time chat, welcome. This is a Q&A. We got our mass media majorist, Tucker, here, our editor-in-chief, and we're answering your questions live and also ones I've written down in between, because like I've been so happy and fortunate to receive a ton of really cool questions, and we're just talking about like the whole like being out of your league not being a thing, because then that just creates weird, uncomfortable statuses. Well, that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for, Van.
I mean, what kind of whiskey?
Yeah, oh, well, that's true. That's a good question, too. We killed like half a bottle of tequila in like a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Pop would be proud.
Yeah.
Yo, we got cool, awesome dude 24. Welcome, first time chat. I'm so excited. This is the Threat of Intimacy. We're here for you today. We've got Tucker.
Hi.
And I'm Solo. And we're doing Q&A, anything under the umbrella of intimacy and more, which is a huge umbrella. It could be anything that like the awkward aardvark would do. I have a wheel in the back that we're working on. The wheel is going to be for fun, like extra questions that we can ask. But we kind of started getting into dating life and things like that. So, bring it. I'm ready for it. I feel very ready. It's Sushi Sunday. I know it's like a holiday weekend or something, like, but that's fine.
Oh, it's so crazy. I love the summer. The fact that
it's the first day, right? This is it. It's this. It's this first day.
Sunny.
First day of summer. We got it. Got like daylight on our hands. Oh my God, such a big question. What else can we pick for here? See, like, so I really like the question, how can you cope with emotional dysregulation? But I was looking up, like neurological stuff for that because I wanted to put it in the Discord for help. That's why I was like, wait, I kind of want to pause on that. I know we could talk about things that we do for that, so I think we should put a pin in between.
Change and be personal for each person.
It's gonna change and be personal, but that's why I have I have a couple of neuroscience things I follow that would be baseline, that wouldn't like have, I take a cold shower. It's a very specific thing, but it would help like, here's how our bodies work, and then maybe we can all then add to that chat. So I think that would be a cool like Discord discussion.
Because for me, I'm all about pros and cons lists.
Yeah, I know you.
And you need time for the
pros and cons lists.
So sometimes that doesn't quite work because you're just like, well, I don't want to do it, but I want to do it, and that's our time for today.
I would.
That's all I've got.
I just try to go and I'd be like, well, how much destruction is there? Yeah. None? Okay.
It's never none, folks. It's never none.
We got, right now, the last one I talked to just stopped talking to me and found my brother on social media, and they started. Woo!
Do they know that it's your brother?
That's a good question.
And how have you had a conversation with your sibling about it and how you feel?
Yeah, I think the most important part of that would be to talk to your brother first. And, yeah. Cool, awesome, dude. Yeah. Single party. It's a single party. Yeah, we're all like Meeson said, we're all singles. It's dark, cold, and barren in the single streets. So, Tucker and I are here with some flashlights on the streets with y'all.
Yeah, let's play some Manhunt.
Yeah, we're playing some Manhunt. I missed that game so much. If you want to share your story, cool, awesome, dude, we are here for it. So Van, is this type of woman a typical person you attract in characteristic? I feel like, is that descriptive enough of what I was trying to say?
Is it their usual type?
The usual type?
Yeah, their usual type? Is that what you're trying to ask?
Yeah. Find a spot to watch. Wait, Boti the Rock? What? You're watching the Tooth Fairy, Meeson? One day that's gonna get over. Non-playable loves it. That's fine. Non-playable, shout out to you. Thank you for getting my joke. My yoke. Oh, in anime. Okay. Oh, that's cool. I'm not up on the anime, but I appreciate it. I respect the arts.
Yeah. I wish I had more time for it.
I know. Honestly. It's a lot of investment.
It's one of those things where
it's
I have to take like a week or two and just completely binge
and go. Yeah.
Or I do it, Saturday morning cartoon thing where
I love a Saturday morning cartoon.
Of the week and I'll go through it slowly.
Yeah. Usually, I don't like what I attract. I never get what I'm looking for. Those are some big statements.
Yeah.
I am happy to break this down with you if you'd like. As a friend who's just had experiences that she'd like to share. Really, I'm excited about my little duck. And I got the butt light in the back here.
Yeah.
Trying to swing it. There we go. So yeah, while you read that, so you never get what you're looking for. I would try to work backwards from the end of the match since we're wrestling fans here. So if the go home or the end of the match is a specific type of person, then I would look at what the qualities in that type of person are and why you want to attract them, and I'd look within the self. So where am I? Okay, why am I looking for that? Why am I attracting these types of people? So what haven't I solved or healed, or what haven't I been working on within myself that is still attracting people of a pattern that I've been trying to break? That doesn't mean we're going to be 100% healed. It doesn't mean we put a Neosporin, done. But we're all, it's like little bars that we heal, and we heal slowly over time, and then we just keep applying aloe, and we just keep taking care of ourselves. But that will change the tides of the energy that we attract. And then we got cool, awesome dude in between here. When I was in middle school during a graduation, a girl called me her boyfriend, quotation. We never dated, but after I spoke to her, she revealed that she already had a boyfriend.
Cool, awesome dude. Was this something that happened a really long time ago? Basically, I'm asking, are you over or under 18 years old?
Yeah, cool, awesome dude. It's okay if you don't want to answer,
but if you are under
how old
18,
are you?
It's going to be much different than over 18.
Yeah. Over 18 dating is going to be much different than under 18 dating.
Because, as teenagers, we're not even fully formed emotionally or mentally. And what we're saying, if I read this, she may not even know what the term boyfriend even means at that age.
No.
Or what it would mean to us now as opposed to what it would mean to a child. So I wouldn't bank all of your trust on that, because it's, again, depending on your age, where we evolve as we get older and we get more complex.
Yeah. Cool, awesome dude. You're in your late 20s. That happened too long ago for you to be carrying that still. It's too long ago. When we're children, we don't have the capacity to understand what a real, deep, meaningful relationship is. That doesn't mean it hurts any less. I don't want you to think we don't understand how bad it hurts. We all did dumb things when we were young. I know that for a fact. I mean, Tucker and I have been friends since we were 10 years old. Yeah. So for those of you that don't know,
we've said a lot of mean things to each other.
We've been through it.
Yeah.
We've been friends for the whole time, and there were chunks of our lives as adults that we didn't talk or see each other, and we went on to live. But we've known each other since we were 10, and I couldn't imagine if we had held on to that. We wouldn't have gotten to this point where we'd be able to be in a room and
together.
Middle school can be really rough, and children can be very tough, and they just say the things.
We also don't know what was going on behind closed doors with those children.
We don't know where she was at or what she was going through.
Getting to our other question, how you were raised.
Yeah.
How does that influence your relationship?
Yeah. There's, yeah. How can your upbringing affect your interpersonal connections and relationships? Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly one of these things.
Just wait until you're knocking on the door of 40. Dating is like second Mad Max movie. Just martyrs.
I'm already knocking on that window, man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're over. Yeah, I'm older than you. Shush.
They didn't know that.
I feel it in my bones. I feel it. All right, Van. So you're 38. So you're 38, and cool, awesome dude. You're in your late 20s. Y'all are in prime.
Yeah.
And 40 is young. It's young as fuck. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're going to have trouble dealing with that, but you're going to have to face yourself and realize it's young. Because the moment you lose hope is the moment that you've lost the game. Sorry for those of you that are still playing the game. You've also just lost that. But in reality, like, you're so young. All of you are so young. We are. And we have the ability to take care of those traumatic memories from when we were kids and heal them, because living in our past prevents us from living now and getting the future that's waiting for us, because we have to work from here, or else technically there's a part of us that's still emotionally attached to being the age of being in middle school.
Yeah.
So if we don't heal those things from our past at whatever age, if something bad happened when you were 10, 12, 16, and we haven't gone back and we haven't worked through that, and we're just hinging dating in our late lives, and these parts of our lives, our current life. If I hinged my dating in my 30s to who I was when I was 14, 15, 16, when I didn't even really know what I needed yet, then I would be missing out on everything that I am right now, which is a much more robust, complete, whole person. And I would be missing out on the future that I'm creating, because I'm busy living at an age that no longer pertains to me. It no longer serves me. That's right, Mizan, because I moisturize. Thanks, Mom. But these things are really important for us to address. Those questions are really important for us to ask. Like, okay, why don't I trust relationships? Okay, so that was that many years ago. Well, I need to be trusting them, because the thing is, the trust in relationships is not going to go away. We're not going to suddenly not need that in a relationship.
Also, does it even still hurt anymore? Like, a lot of times, like, something might have hurt so much in that moment that you put up a wall and you're like, I can't deal with this ever again. And you just don't think about it. You just know it's bad.
But then what happens is you cut yourself off from experiencing so many wonderful, amazing things that would have given you things tenfold to what you know already. It would have, like, not just healed that, but it would have given you so much more than you could have ever imagined. You would have grown so much more than you could have ever imagined. But pinning yourself to the past is literally tethering yourself to the past, and it's preventing you from growing and from experiencing more. So all it does is hinder and hurt our current relationships and any future relationships that we want to have or expect to have.
What I was going to say, is it even relevant anymore? I know, you want that dumpling.
Dumpling?
But is it even relevant anymore? When it comes, like, it was a big fear, and whether you wanted to deal with it or not, your age has progressed, and you've gone through experiences, whether it was experiences you wanted to or didn't want to. But I'm sure other things in your life have compounded more, that when you look back to, like, middle school, was it really as scary or fearful or bad as you originally even thought it out to be? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that with some care, that person, in whoever, like, when we put ourselves in those shoes, like when I do that and I look back, yeah, it's a big one I'm gonna take.
Like, I used to be a chubby kid, you know that.
Yeah, I think it just takes that.
Kill me. I used to hate it. I told you already now that I can't deal with the word husky. Like, it's not happening. It's not in my vocabulary. Don't like it. But that used to kill me all throughout high school, all throughout, like, probably up until I was like 18 or 19 years old. I'm an old man now. I have my insurers.
It's not. He does have insurance.
Yes, I have my little.
But
my
we're not doing
glasses.
the old thing
Yeah, we're almost
because
there.
I'm older than you. So.
I'm in dog years. But, like now, you know, I haven't changed too much, but the way I view myself has changed.
Yeah.
So in the context of how I view myself versus my fears, like when you go back and you think about middle school, or you think about those scenarios, and you think about how you are now, do you still feel that same, like, level of resentment or fear? Is it less? Like, think about all the things you probably accomplished in that time.
There's a lot behind that, actually.
Yeah.
So I think, Tucker, then that would really be dependent, because, you know, if we're talking about experiences that can be felt so strongly, like, yeah, that could take a person right back to that moment. But that's gonna lead me into brave space. So I'm gonna tackle that. I'm gonna tackle that in a second with cool, awesome dude. What's your take on people who never had a relationship in their whole lives? I would ask you why. I would ask why, and I would ask what you're afraid of. Because I believe people are inherently good. I believe this because I've been in love with people my whole life. I love people, even though you'll hear me say, "Oh God, I hate everyone." It's just not true. I just love people, and I think people are inherently good. I do believe we were put here to connect, because love is the best thing we do. It is. When I say unconditional, it doesn't mean what it has taken it on to mean. What I mean by unconditional love is that love happens with or without us. If we let it in, it nurtures us, and it nurtures everything around us. Plants grow all around us. There's energy in that. There's love in that. So by not having a relationship, then I would have to ask why. But I would hope that that's only just the beginning of being aware that something is on the other side of that. Not that that is a decision of how to live this life. Because there's so much more to be learned. I believe the human experience has multiple facets, and that everyone's language is just all saying the same thing in different ways. I believe that we are here to learn ourselves, and the greatest story is the body that we're living in, because we are it every day, in and out. We have our story to live and learn. But it cannot be done alone. The things that I have experienced cannot be healed by themselves, all of them. But what can come up while I'm doing the work within myself, while I'm growing and finding achievements and doing streaming and playing piano and playing with the dogs, and while I'm doing the things for me, while I'm doing me, there are things that simply cannot be triggered for me to heal. There are events in my life that I cannot heal by myself because they require the catalyst of another. Because that's how chemistry works. And in relationships is how we deepen that knowledge within ourselves, how we learn to handle conflict, how we grow past anything we can imagine. Because those things with a partner or with a friend, or, you know, when we get into however our relationships are, right? Like there's many ways to have a relationship. That's how we learn those parts of ourselves. You're getting a shorter story without having a relationship. I mean, I keep getting friend zoned, and where I live, these girls are into thugs and criminals, bad boys. It's embarrassing for me to say this, but I've never been in a relationship my entire life.
Well, I mean, there's nothing to be embarrassed about that.
Yeah.
You know, it's also not a race. You know, I've had personal friends who are just now having their first relationships, and like these are people older than me. These are people in their mid-40s. You know, just happen to meet their significant other in a bookstore, of all places. Like,
yeah,
just like the movies. I played D&D with this guy. Like,
and
like,
it changes. Everybody's story is different.
Yeah. he was in the same camp of like, I'm never going to meet someone. No one likes my hobbies. No one really wants to interact with me. Like, most of my friends are online. Like, I don't go out very much. And you still have your own hobbies, and eventually you're gonna go out to you need to get your fix. And that's what ended up happening to him. He wanted to pick up some new books. He wasn't even thinking about anything. Walked into the Barnes and Nobles, saw her at Starbucks, made some sly jokes, super embarrassed, didn't think anything was going to come to it, and now they're together.
Yeah.
It was the same thing. He didn't think he was in anyone's league. Anyone. Like, anyone.
So...
That's why I don't prescribe to that.
Yeah. I think it's difficult as well, like... I'd like to break apart two different things. So please know that I'm so happy you're here and you're sharing, and that I genuinely care. I'd like to tweak the usage of friend zoned, and I apologize. I apologize that you've been in situations where you'd like more, and then the person is not interested because they're not ready. Because they're looking for something else. There is a reason. It doesn't have to be because they're into thugs and criminals. That could be what it looks like. But that's telling of something much deeper. If I am a person who is only into something surface level, I have a much bigger problem. If I'm looking for something at the surface level of what they are and I need a bad boy, there is a lot of insecurity and a lot of fear and a lot of things that I haven't dealt with in myself. There's a lot of fear of intimacy that I haven't dealt with myself. So I'm going for someone that is emotionally unavailable. If that is the truth. The whole truth. But we won't know that. We won't. We'll know what we're told, and even then, we won't know the whole story. However, I have been in a position where I've had many male friends that I genuinely wanted their friendship. But because I couldn't give them more, they used the word friend zoned. And it diminishes the value of our friendship. And so for your sake and for the people that you're around, unless you genuinely don't want to be their friends and you were just looking at them for dating, which if you don't want to be their friends but you want to date them, then I'd ask what you're looking for in a partner, because a partner should have some kind of friendship component in some way if you're going to be spending a lot of time with them. When the term friend zone is used, it objectifies women because it puts us in a position where we have to grant you this one thing, but it can also give you an answer for yourself, for what you're looking for. So you're looking for technically people that are emotionally unavailable, or you're around women that are emotionally unavailable because they are seeking emotionally unavailable people. So then I would ask, why are you looking for emotionally unavailable people? Is it safer to look for emotionally unavailable people because you know you're going to get rejected because they're not there for you, and so that would keep the narrative going about constantly being rejected because it's fearful for going for something else? If that is a possibility, that is something worth investing. I'm not saying that's an answer, but it is a possibility subconsciously that keeps us in a negative loop. But I'm offering it as food for thought upon why you might not be finding the right girls. Maybe you need to be friends with a girl for real and figure out that you like somebody for who they are, and maybe they'll like you for who you are, because that's more important. You should like you for who you are. I don't know if any of that's hitting home, but you can let me know.
I mean, to add to that, you also don't have to stay in the friend zone, like you said before. If there is no romantic interest, sometimes it's better to just leave.
I can't.
If there's nothing else to add. Like, if you truly don't want to be this person's friend, it's a form of emotional manipulation on both people's parts.
Yeah, if I'm friends with someone and they're friends with me, but then they want more and I can't give them that, or just I'm not interested in that, but I care about them, that doesn't mean that my friendship is any less. Like, I'm a dope friend. But if that's not what they're looking for and they're seeking a romantic nature to this only, well, then that puts me in a position where I don't want to feel that I'm worth less because I can't give one thing. And so if it becomes unhealthy, then I say it's better to part ways than like remain friend zoned, because I don't want a friend that talks about me as though I have friend zoned them.
You shouldn't feel like you're settling.
No one should feel like they're
Because
settling.
even as the person who is in the friend zone, you're settling for being their friend, quote unquote.
Which shouldn't be.
Friendship is supposed to be awesome in its
Yeah,
own,
friendship's awesome.
its own thing.
So I think it's great. I think friendship is great, but if you want to be more with that person and have that conversation and it doesn't work out, then I think it's cool to bail, which you might be doing.
It's better to be upfront
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
person.
yeah.
If you
Then
respect the-
cool out, yeah,
respect
cool,
it.
awesome dude might be just also, we're kind of just like offering things just in case. But I can see that I've been in a bunch of those awkward situations and I feel
Also,
terrible.
What attracts you to these women that are attracted to these type of men?
yeah, that was
Because
my
they're chasing something. So like, why are you chasing them? Like, what is?
that's what I was offering,
Yeah,
because it would be that would be the question is, if I want someone that's emotionally unavailable because they're seeking something else that's
Not even that. I mean, more like, I'm into bad girls, but I'm a good boy, quote unquote, because I'm not a bad boy.
yeah.
But, like, how can you get a bad girl if you don't know what entails being in that subculture? Like, it's almost like a voyeur experience.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
Like, either is that something that you see your life progressing towards?
As
Is
if
that
you're
something that
trying
you
to do
want as
that,
a goal? Like, is that something you're trying to do? Because
then that's a whole
if you're
different
not, then
life.
That's
I don't
probably
have
the
that
part of
skill
why
set.
It's not compatible. You know what I mean?
I can't tell you how to be a bad boy. I could tell you how to be a good boy, but like a bad boy, but via me. Like, it's going to be from my experience. But you could get dude advice here.
But
From
also, like, why would you want to change yourself to make
Right.
someone else like you? Because then that's
Exactly.
just a long con.
Yeah.
So, what I'm saying is assess the reason why you like these type of people. Think about it, and then pick out the things you do like about those types of people, and can they be found in others?
Yeah. I guess I was just cutting to the root with
Something
my
that's
words.
something
But it's
that's
the
more
same.
comfortable for you.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
but being who you are should just, that's it. That's the thing. That's most important. Most important is being you.
Yeah, everything else comes.
And everything else comes with it. Because, like, how exhausting is it? Okay, I just can't. How exhausting is it to try and be anything other than who you are? And why waste time when time is not a renewable source being something else when
like-
you could just invest in you and figure you out and then, like, make that as best as it's going to be? Because we're obviously here for a reason.
Or else you're kind of just, you're Bruce Wayne playing Batman, but you got no money.
No money, no
money.
gadgets.
You got
Nobody's got
You got
gadgets.
your trash bag cape.
No, not the trash bag cape.
You know,
No.
you got your scarf over your eyes,
Not the trash
riding your
bag
bicycle
cape.
down your cold, dark street over here.
I want a tricycle. I want to go back. I'm going back. Yeah, I think because what makes it difficult then is and this is just like here's some here you can have some. There's no good time to start dating, but there's definitely a better time than never.
Yeah.
Any time is good, because it's just like wrestling. Like, your first match is never going to be good. It's just not.
Your first anything professionally.
It's just not going to be.
It's
But
never gonna go.
but that's okay. As long as you're you about it, then you've secured all the other things, and it's less the thing that, like, I lose sleep at night. Like, you know how, like, it's like those memes where it's like, going to bed and then lying awake thinking about the one thing I did, blah, 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 blah.
yes.
Like, that's totally me. I could do that. But, if I'm, like, super me about it, at least I have that going for me, and I could go, at least you know what, I may have did the Elaine dance in public at a supermarket, and I took out a giant stack of tomatoes, whatever, but I was me about it, and that's fine. So I can never go to ShopRite again. But, you know, those things happen. Oh, cool, awesome, dude. What did you realize? I really love the cliffhanger notion of the text, by the way. It's one of my favorite things is chomping at the bit. Yeah, I just think the best thing to do is be you, because then that creates the line of like, oh well, you gotta wait 6 to 8 months in a relationship to really see how someone is, right? Like you really see how someone is after 6 to 8 months, and sometimes it's longer, sometimes it's shorter. Everything is different. There's no set rules on anything. These are just like things we've taken as data over time. But like if you're super you, that goes a lot quicker. Like when I was on Hinge and I would like talk to people and I would be like me up front, what's up? And people would be like, wow, that's a lot. And I'd be like, cool, are you in or out? Because like I'm cool either way. Because like this is it.
Got that too, huh?
Yeah. Yo, you're a lot.
Yeah, I really do these things. And they're like, no.
Yeah. I actually got a voice note. Bendito, pobrecito. I actually got a voice note. I was talking to this gentleman. Super nice. And I just back and forth in one day. Just one day. We matched. It was one day of back and forth. And he started like, yo, what do you do? Where'd you go? Blah, 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 blah. So I'm doing the thing and I'm telling him about myself. And like 4 voice notes in on Hinge, I could hear, wow, so you did all that stuff. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, but like, you know, I do a lot. Don't you do a lot? We do a lot of stuff. It's cool. And I like choked. Never heard from him again. He's like, you do a lot more than I do. And I was like, wow, I guess if you were going to be shaky voice, oh, you poor thing. And that was it. Like, and I feel, but I don't feel bad because of being me. I feel like, okay, cool. Now I know.
Trial and error.
Now I know. What do we got? Cool, awesome, dude. It's a really good name. I can't believe you actually got that name. What I realized is that my issue with relationships is that I'm a shy person who hardly opens up to people. To be honest, I have Asperger's syndrome. I understand.
Yeah, I'm a fellow neurodivergent. I'm also really, really bad at public speaking.
Yeah, we're a neurospicy crowd here. Welcome to the neurospicy club.
So do not feel bad at all.
You're welcome here.
I'm the worst when I'm hitting on people. I just sent her a meme the other day where it's more like, you know, hi, I like you. Look at my marbles. So do not feel bad. I'm over here like a bird.
Hey.
You need a stick? I have a stick.
Would you like a stick? I have many sticks. Look at my collection of sticks. You can pick the nicest sticks. Any stick you want. Yo, shy guys are great. I'm a very loud, extroverted person. Shy guys do not bother me whatsoever. Yo, Buster. First time chat. Wolf, what's up? Welcome to the party. It can be really tough to navigate neurospiciness though.
Yes.
And like please feel welcome to join our Discord. I've been like working on getting a lot of resources for the neurospicy section, which will be like a free for all chat for us that are all neurospicy, and for those that, you know, that like that aren't neurospicy, if they just want to, you know, join the neurospicy chat. Like everyone's welcome to share. Yeah. So like, and in there we're gonna like share some resources about like I'll share stuff that I learned in neuroscience to help us all out, and you know.
Hey, Leva.
Oh, we're getting raided. Oh, hey, Leva. I literally saw the thing and then I was like, oh, new raid. Yep. Me. I was doing the Winnie the Pooh. I was like, what? Yo! Oh my God, Leva! Leva, this is Tucker.
Hi.
I'm yelling because she can hear me. I'm yelling louder. Hey, Leva!
Can you hear her? I can't hear her.
Can you hear me?
I don't know. Do I have to go on her screen?
Yo, what up, first time Raider chat? We got Mac Bride. See, Mac Bride. Yo, we're talking about dating.
Yeah.
We're talking about dating stuff right now and being neurospicy. It's tough as hell. So welcome to the dating Q&A of the Threat of Intimacy. Bring us your dating questions. I like how. Yeah. Yo, Marvelous Wolf. I don't know how.
Using your words.
Yeah, use some words. Use some words, some keyboard. Bring us. We were talking. We're literally just talking about some neurospice.
I'd also accept a series of pictures that are just hand gestures explaining how you feel.
I like memes. Yeah, we like memes. I don't know pictures the meme levels. Pictures of of cats. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yo, what's going on? How is the stream, Leva? Yeah. How is the stream? Where did Leva go? Where'd she go? She's ready.
Parallel parked to 47 people here.
She did. That was really smooth parallel parking. Woo. Oh, howl. Oh, ow. Oh. I used to do a howl. I can't do it here. You got to do it from like the guts. You do it from like in here.
It's more like a howl.
Howl. Oh, yo, get some Coke Zero. It's sushi night.
Oh, man.
It's sushi Sunday.
She beat us out on Coke Zero.
Sushi. It's for proof that we're doing sushi Sundays. There's a butt on my wall. It's a good day. My dating life my love life can only be described as a car crash, so I can bring actually, no. Robster, that's exactly why we're here. I am here for that. Bring it.
That's like the entire conversation.
That's like the whole conversation. It's not about like, so this is awesome, isn't it? It's actually like, so how's your dumpster fire?
Yeah, for real.
Mine's floating down a river.
Jeez, I built a whole house around mine.
I just built a moat around my dumpster fire. I float.
I hate my home, everyone. Me and the 5 raccoons who live with me.
What we got here. Ooh, how to ask your partner for sex ed. I like that it was in quotations.
Yeah.
I wish I wrote down who gave me that one, so I can give him a shout out. Yeah, we're answering dating questions, personal if you're like, how do I, or what about this? Like, we're here for all of that in the chat. You can't get too TMI with us. I assure you, I cannot be shook. And if I do get shook, what's the price? Take a shot?
Sounds fair.
I know, that was the first thing that came to mind.
I mean, I'm definitely gonna laugh at you. But...
If you are able to shook me, if I am the one that gets shooketh, which I'm betting not, then I will take a shot of tequila. That's how you say that, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I thought it was tequila.
Tequila.
Tequila, right? Yeah.
Is that how Macbeth would have said it?
Yeah. You got a tequila slowly? There's my one dad joke at the end.
I love dad jokes. This stream is now for dating and dad jokes.
Oh, damn.
No, Leva don't have to go grocery shopping. I'm going to Instacart her groceries right now. Baby girl, what you need? What you need? Mom will send it to you. You can't read my mug.
No, it's probably Cafe Bustelo.
But it says, as I suspected, I was right all along. Oh, okay. We're going to get into this? I don't need a shot to talk about what I like. How big that mug? Okay, Robster. Is it as big as my head? Guess. Take your pick.
No problem, awesome dude.
Hey, cool, awesome dude. Thank you so much for popping in. I'm so glad we got to chat, and I hope to see you in the Discord. It was really lovely talking to you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Giving you lots of love and hugs.
Yeah, if anything, he should check out Shenanigans.
Yeah, definitely check out Shenanigans.
You'll probably like that a lot.
Look at that. This is about as big as my face.
Neurospicy page.
The I was telling about the Neurospicy page. I'm really, really excited, especially because, like, yeah. Anytime, cool, awesome dude. And you could always DM me, too. It's cool. It's the size of your head. Yo. This is a big, it's a power mug, really is what it is. I don't wear power ties, I have power mugs. That's how I proceed. So, oh my god, Omega Pyro! I'm so glad to see you. Okay, qualities, is that what it was? Is that what it was? Where did I miss it?
Yeah. Yeah, what kind of qualities do you like in a guy?
Okay, so just a guy?
Yes, I was going to say, or a person.
I'm pansexual here, coming out the pantry. What I like... Oh, Thor looks so cute. He was like, hello!
He was like, hey, dumplings?
What I like in a guy... I've emotionally aware. I want them to truly be emotionally aware, and they don't have to be where I'm at. But I need somebody that's in a relationship with themselves. I need somebody that's honest, and I need someone who's empathetic. Yeah. That's where us pansexuals hang out, in the pantry, next to the adobo and the Twinkies. That's what I'm guessing, because they don't go bad. So I figured that was a nice sweet and savory combination there. You know what I mean? A little sweet, a little salty, a little garlic. I don't know. It's fine. You're still making out. You're still making out if there's adobo in it. Yo, we got all the doggos. So I think it's important, the qualities I look for in a partner is that somebody's able to ask themselves those questions inside. Like, hey, how am I? How are they? Like, is the person considerate? Is the person able to be with themselves? How do they handle conflict? Like, I can't be with someone that leaves their physical or mental health and well-being unchecked. That's a no for me, because I'm a very empathetic person. I'm a very nurturing person. And if I put myself in a dynamic like that, I tank. So I'm no good then for anybody. It's not so much about looks, but I do need to be attracted to the person. Because what's attractive to me is somebody that takes care of themselves. What's good? Take care of yourself. Because I'm working hard on me. And that doesn't mean I need it to be, I don't need you to have like the fake pecs, and like, I don't need you to have it. If you want to do that for you, you do that for you. Like, I don't have like a chiseled drawing somewhere, like the painting on my ceiling is, some Michelangelo. No, I just need you to be healthy. Like,
it's not asking for a lot.
Like, I need you to be good here, or else how am I gonna sit in the same room if you're not good? I've had far too many people. I've been in insecure relationships back to back, and it's no good.
I think on the flip side of that, like me personally, I can't deal with anyone anymore who will go, nothing is wrong.
Oh, the classic.
It's
fine.
It's fine, yeah.
It's fine. I've been guilty of that in my past.
Oh man.
I've been in my past because I was young. I was young and upset.
Breakup. That's what that language is.
Yeah.
Everything's fine until it's not.
Yeah. Basically, by the time I'm saying it's fine, I've already given you ample months of conversation, of like trying to like reach you, and I've like shown you. I've done Morse code, smoke signals.
But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the person who always just says, it's fine.
Oh, and then just like shoves it down in there.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, yeah, it's fine.
See, you're shouting it to the rooftops, and then you're saying it sarcastically later. I'm talking about the person who always just says, it's fine, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, everything's fine.
Then how is that real? And it's not, then that's not real. Basically, like, real.
Yeah.
You know what's attractive as hell? Real. And, like, real, like, you don't have to say it. Like, you just know it. When you know what I mean?
Yes, ref, Chris. That.
Yeah. We got Wolf. I understand that, Solo. I'm working hard on me, too. I don't do none of the fake stuff. Yeah, exactly. You just like, because it's always like like if somebody's excited about them, too, like they get excited about themselves, like, yes, we all have those hard days. We all have the days we don't want to get out of bed. That's going to happen. But, like, we have hope. Loki has hope that she's going to attack whatever is on the other side of that window. She is going to get it. Oh my God, she's going to get it. But as long as there's something like a want, like I think, like I want to get better, and then I go actively do that. Because if somebody wants something, they'll do whatever it takes to get that. Oh, do you want to grab her real quick? You gonna bring her in here?
I'll be right back.
Hey, Loki.
I'm gonna take them out.
Loki. Wait, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not let her out. I think she might kill whatever is outside. Somebody's getting Loki'd outside. Somebody's gonna get eaten. He's not ready. She's like, yeah, it's fine. Let me out. I won't. I'm not gonna kill it. I promise. It's gonna be fine. Watch. Let me show you. Who's outside? That's what she's doing. She's like, it's good. Watch. It's great. There was an effort made to communicate, and the other person didn't pick up on it. Yeah, I don't want to be pulling teeth too. Like, I don't want to pull teeth on that. Like, I just want to be able to talk. Pyro, she's a little mischievous nugget. Just a nugget made of mischief. Is she good? Oh, but she's not outside, right? Oh, hello. Come here, my little demon. No, my girl.
She wants to play Ninja Warrior.
Oh, come here, baby. Oh, she's so good. Oh, she's so good. She came to me for head rubs because she gets...
she's a little bit
We've figured out that, imagine this. You know how, like, a good head massage goes a long way? Just like, I've had a long day. Can you just please? I have a headache and, oh my God, it's so crazy out. Yeah, and then you just get like a nice massage. I started doing that to Loki because she has crazy anxiety and she does have PTSD, especially with what happened with the neighbor. And so she goes into these like, ah. So she comes to me and puts her head. Oh, are you taking him? Okay, bye. It's so she'll put her head in my hands because I give her little head massages. And then she goes, and it's very sweet. And I squish her. Imagine that. Everybody loves massages. I mean, like, good massages, I guess. I've only had a bad massage once. And I think it was more circumstantial than, like, it was on purpose. Like, I don't think the person was trying to give me a bad massage. I think it was just, like, a mess of a situation at the salon I was at. I ended up in the wrong parlor. It's a long story. I'm like a quarter of the way telling it, but that's fine. One of the questions we got, which I kind of mentioned before, so, like, how to ask your person, right? Like, the awkward conversation of, like, what do you like? How do your buttons work? The sex ed conversation. How do you ask for...
Literally the threat of intimacy.
How do you ask for what you... How you like what you like? That was a question. I thought that was really... I was like, there's a lot of... That's tough. Because I think you have to have, like, a comfortable situation. I've even been comfortable with people that I've dated and not been comfortable enough to tell them what I like.
Yes.
Where I've been like, oh yeah, they're like, I'm cool chilling with them. But then when it comes to, like, what I want, I can't.
Sometimes I like to play 20 questions to kind of test the waters on how, like, what level this person's at.
What's been like your data research with your success rate with 20 questions?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. First 5 or 6, you just kind of keep it generic, open up, say some jokes, get them a little bit comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the next 5, it's just a little bit dirty, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And the other 5 to see where the previous 5 went. And you'll get a pretty good gauge on where they are and like how open I will be, at least at first.
I was going to say that's at first.
If I'm already in a relationship with this person, what are we talking about? Are we talking about like someone I'm just starting to date? Are we
It's
having
different.
This,
it's
like,
different at any
I've
stage.
had this intimate conversation years into a relationship where I'm
I
like,
think
hey,
it can be harder when
I,
you're in it with somebody.
Yeah, I want to stir the pot a little bit. Like,
yeah.
Like we've been just kind of simmering back here. like I want to try some new things. You know.
I've not been successful at the conversation. Doesn't mean I haven't had it. Well, I guess it's been successful because then relationships ended.
Yeah.
So it's been successful in the way of we had the conversation, and then I wish them good luck on their future endeavors.
I mean, I got the other end of that, which, everything's fine. Until it's not fine.
Everything's fine. And they're like walking backwards.
Yep.
Everything's fine. They're just like
Okay.
closing the door. It's fine. The car's like backing out. And all of a sudden it's dark.
Smokes. I'll be right back.
Shit. It's fine. And it's like scribbled in the sky in the clouds.
Ooh, do you believe in like going on dates, or what is your idea of a great date? Dates are important.
Dates are very important. Dates are super important. All dates are important, by the way, in the sense of I like friend dates, like I like group dates, and I like date dates, like with a partner. And then those have different climates.
Yes.
I can't always go on a date that needs to be fancy dressed and like, heavy jewelry. Like, I can't be all like dressing for the general every date. It's a lot of pressure, and that's not always fun for me. Some of my favorite dates are like escape rooms and like a cool place to eat that we haven't eaten
I'm
at.
simple. Just get me Starbucks after Target.
Ooh. Ooh. Take you to TJ Maxx.
Oh man, Max and Nisa.
Slow down.
Yep.
Slow down. Yeah, dates are very important. One of my favorite relationship specialist people that I studied in school is James Pawelski. James Pawelski and Susan kind of write the book on Happy Together. I'll post it in the Discord. I'll put it on Insta for anyone that doesn't do the Discord. The Discords and the Walmarts. I'll post it up there. In this book, there's like activities and ideas that you can like, they even say it in the book in no uncertain terms of like, here's a template. Obviously, you put your own date ideas. So whatever their date ideas are not going to be what like you want to go on. They also designed this book for people that are single. So it's Happy Together, but I read it as I'm single person, right? I'm reading it as a single person. It's not just for people who are in relationships.
So you weren't reading it next to a mirror?
Yeah, like basically I read it to myself.
Thor over here is just giving you looks like she read it to me, guys.
I did read it to Thor. He just went to sleep.
He's just like...
He yawned and woke up. He's like, oh, you're still reading this.
I'm mad at her.
And like dates should be like no pressure. I think dates can have some pressure because the way we look at pressure can change. I get far more done on a weekend preparing for Shimmer because that pressure is exciting stress. It's exciting anxiety. I'm going to see all of you guys. I'm going to see all the girls. Like, I'm going to go wrestle. I'm going to go do these things. So the pressure is changed, right? So that stress is changed to positivity, right? It's changed in like a healthy, positive way, without the negative affect. So I think that like crafting a date for someone that you're with shouldn't like go into the like sweating negative like
It can cause anxiousness.
Right. I think it should stay within the level of excitement, and then if you find that you're like hitting that barrier or you're hitting the like perimeter of that, then you're like, okay, that's my bandwidth. So I think the date planning can go as far as somebody's bandwidth, but has to stay in the fun pressure zone. But it could be anything simple. It could also be like, hey, we got rained out, but I had a picnic planned for us. So I turned the bed into like a picnic thing with a blanket and I put candles around. Like, that's super romantic. Thanks, Wolf. I am quite the Ted Mosby without the, other wild lists that he does. I'm good at the date part. The 2-minute date, it's up my alley. Blue French horn, very up my alley. Scavenger hunt across New York City, something I did.
I'm disappointed we weren't talking during that time, because that sounds like it would have been an epic weekend.
It was an epic weekend. I think you would have been mad about that.
Yeah.
I think you'd be like, how are you giving these away?
How are you doing this, and what did I have to do? stand here in this corner for me.
Yeah, with the box. I did all the boxes. So like that scavenger hunt was with like variant collector's edition covers of a Batman comic spread throughout important places in New York City that were relevant to the dates that I had been on with this person. And they all had like riddles to solve for the scavenger hunt on like cards for like, you know, Joker and Riddler. So I did like both Joker and Riddler stuff because like I thought that they were amusing, but I am not a DC person, so I had every window up on my laptop because I had no idea what I was doing. I am a Marvel person. I just knew enough about Batman and literally remembered the one thing you told me when we were like 12 about Batman's diary. It's the only thing I remember is Batman's diary. And that was it. Like he kept, not like a diary, like it's a dear diary. It's a journal. You know, that the one thing I remember. And I was like, this helps me none. I know nothing about Batman. So like stuff like that I think is really important and fun. It also informs you as to who you are. I know a lot about myself based off of the crazy things I've done for dates. One really fun one I did was it was like an at-home date. I turned a room into a blanket fort with extra sheets, and I made it like a winter wonderland. And then I did like parts of the gift in little boxes with notes to find. So they were all different shaped boxes with little lights. So
Wow.
so you get in and you're like, what's up? And the bedroom is to the right hand side. So you come in the stairs, whatever, and then like, what's going on here? There's like a fort and it's winter wonderland and there's blue lights and white lights and all this stuff, and like super Fairyville, and then all these little boxes that you have to open up. I disappear.
Wait. So is dating you a little bit like being on a Japanese game show?
Yeah, kind of.
The way you're explaining
A little bit.
There might be a scavenger hunt.
There might be a scavenger hunt.
Boxes all over your house.
Me and this person, I could probably tell I mean, I'm sure that he wouldn't mind me telling this story. This is one of our good moments that we're both pretty proud of. So I didn't have a boombox. I couldn't find the boombox that I had from when we were kids. That was just like a big, you know, like the actual, right? So I got a boombox piñata, gray, to mimic the one from the only movie where they hold a boombox above their head. Found a trench coat.
What is the name of
Say anything? Say anything? Because I'm a huge John Cusack fan. So huge John Cusack fan. So I queue up because it's a piñata. There's no sound. So I queue up on the TV, right? So if I'm coming in here, here's the Winter Wonderland, here's the scavenger hunt all around here. I mapped it so it leads you to the TV with a Post-it note. Turn me on. I thought that was subtle and cool. So you turn it on, and it plays the Say Anything song. And then underneath that it says, open the door. And then I have the boombox.
That's adorable.
With the final gift,
Yeah.
which was a Muppet that was custom created for the person.
What?
They had discontinued the parts of the Muppet, but this person always wanted a Muppet of themselves. I had to do deep research to find a couple that had licensing rights to not do the AEW, like whatever it was, the other Muppet licensing that was like Avenue Q, something like that. Avenue Q, but actually get like Muppet shapes to custom do the Muppet.
There were a parody of Jim Henson.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I found, and it was a couple that did it, so it was nice to support a couple in getting a custom. And yeah, that's something I did for a date. No idea what kind of, I don't know what that would hold for the future or what. I'd probably need to sleep a little bit more, pull something out of the hat, but.
Jeez, I'm over here just taking people to Red Lobster.
Sizzler. We're just taking people to Sizzler.
You could have anything you want from 1 to 3 p.m. here.
But I also love
Spend
that.
good money.
You could take me to Nifty 50s and laser tag, and I'm happy. I get a milkshake after laser tag because I'm not trying to like throw up on a kid, but well, maybe I am. I don't know. What kind of date is it? Is that the date we're having? I don't know. I hope not.
I wouldn't complain.
Yeah, you know?
As long as you run away and get those little cars.
Pyro! That poor vomit-covered child. Hey, they never saw it coming. But did we win? And were they on my team? Those are the questions.
Right before we had to drag her out of the daycare.
I have the gun and I'm like in the daycare. I'm not even in the laser tag anymore.
Get in the elephant car.
Solo, why did you end up here? I don't know.
She rode away on one of the mobile giraffes that they have at the mall.
So okay, so let's say you're just dating someone, you're doing the 20 questions. But how do you, what are you looking for to know if you can ask, like, what do you like? Or do you just, like, how do you go about...
Oh, I'm so overt with it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because again, that's the type of person I am. I'm very open.
What would you recommend for someone that's, like, struggling with overtness?
I mean, tell the truth. Like, why do you... First off, I would try to tell the person what I like about them. Just to open up that conversation. And see what they like about you. Like, I ask those sort of questions. Like, what makes you interested in me? Like, what's...
Alright, let's say you pass that, you're in the bedroom.
We're in the bedroom playing 20
we've made
questions
it,
in person.
we're playing 20 question buttons. That's not the game.
No.
I
hope you're pushing more buttons than asking questions at that point.
I'm a cat on a keyboard. I have 5 moves. Cat on a keyboard. So you've made it to the bedroom. What would you do? And then advice for a lot of us are nervous to ask for like what you want, which is such a silly thing, but it's true. I think all of us can relate. I can relate to being like, I don't know how to. I've even asked people in the moment.
I mean, yeah, I would say in the moment, at that point, I would almost start an
What do you
action
want?
and then see how they feel with the progression of that action, whatever it is. Because
Yeah.
I don't know how intimate they are. Well, speaking to the group. But
It's true.
depending on what that is, they might never have tried it before or never even knew they liked it. So even just starting something, maybe as simple as this, like, a lot of people don't like to be touched in normal areas.
Yeah, I don't like my face touched.
Yeah, and that's trial and error.
Or my belly.
And that's not something that's, like, comes up in conversation. Like,
No, it's...
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's weird. I've tried that, like, on the date, where you talk about, like, I've tried to make some dates really, like, casual, like, first date, we're talking, and, it's laughing, and, then we get into, like, what we like or don't like, and sometimes people are really forward with that, and they want to bring, like, whatever to the, and then I go, yeah, I don't like my face touched or my belly touched. And you know what? It's like a little weird. But it's fine. They know. They know in advance.
For me, it's pressure. Like, I'm uncomfortable with really light touches. Like, anywhere.
Like little, like...
Yeah. Like, that tickles so much.
Takes you out of it.
Yeah, it just makes me feel uncomfortable. And a lot of people do that as signs of affection. Just when, like, someone goes like this.
Yeah.
And, like, goes to hold your hand. Like, this action, sometimes done by someone else, sometimes, like, makes me giggle like a little girl. Like, and, that's not exactly something I want to be doing in public. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but, I gotta put up some sort of front.
Just walk by.
Yeah.
Does it remind you of salad fingers?
Oh, my God, yes.
Hey, Turbo.
But to get back to what we were saying,
Thank you.
Do a slow initiation. I would test the waters with something. Be like, hey, I'd like to try this, and talk to them about it as I'm doing it.
Yeah, I think talking about stuff as it's happening is really
staying in the moment.
Is staying in the moment. Does anyone here have any? Want to bring us your dating stuff? What's going on in your dating life?
Yeah, like what was either your best or worst date?
Your best or worst date. Or, yeah, like any of that. Or how it's going on whatever dating app you're on. I know it's all a dumpster fire. That's
so
okay.
Now, and they're all owned by, like, one...
I heard of another one recently, and I was like, I can't even imagine. That's okay, Wolf. Turbo, it's the threat of intimacy. We're answering people's questions about dating. I don't know if you're still in the chat, but we're answering questions that were brought to us by you guys and gals, humans. So we just have a bunch of questions,
Yeah.
and then we're just trying to also ask the chat and kind of we're just like offering up a little bit of Q&A. But you don't have to be scared of that. Wolf, we're here for whatever you want to share.
Yeah.
If you want to share, if you want to ask, if you want to go, what do I do about this? Or if you want to just share, like, whatever it is you're feeling. I'm also going to keep eating my sushi, because that's what we do. Oh, I wanted the chair to go up, not down. I realize that now.
Yeah, I was wondering that before.
It got so small. The chair got so incredibly small. Y'all would have just seen forehead.
Like, I'd like to be shorter.
I would like to be shorter. Pyro, you're the best. Pyro, you're awesome. And if anyone wants to pop on and do like a guest star, they want to call in, I can add that. So like, just let me know. I can add the collab cam and then have y'all just like call in. Which I definitely don't mind. Now that I know how to do it. Oh, my sweet angel boy. Is it that I can just put the collab cam link in and then people can just
jump on?
Yeah, does it create a waiting room?
I'm not sure.
Oh, because she's got a stick.
Yeah. You want one?
Yeah, it's fine.
Let's go get one, because you probably left yours.
If you want to bring 2 new ones, we'll just. Yeah, thank you for grabbing that for them. That's why he was whining. I have the collab cam up. So what I'll do is I will just drop the link in the chat and we'll see what happens. If it blows up, it blows up. And if it's not, then that's fine too. Oh my gosh, the letters all together almost looked like they said Thin Whiz. That's so silly. Our brain just creates patterns in just such silly associations. Let's see, can I... See what I mean? Thin Wizzy. Not really, but it does, in my brain, it looked like that for a second. That's the link. If you want to join in the collab cam, feel free to click. And I understand, too, if it's, like, short notice and people are like, I don't want to be on camera, I just want to type. That's cool, too. I think one of my favorite things is, like, when it comes to the conversation of, how, like, what do you like? Or, like, having the sex ed conversation, one of the most important things I've learned is to keep it light. Breathe. And, like, keep it curious. Stay in the curious realm. And if it starts to become, like, stressful or things, just take a beat. Be like, hey, I want to just come back to this. Like, it's always okay to take a beat. And that's, like, been really helpful with getting myself comfortable and then, like, being able to explore that more with people that are less comfortable talking about those things. Robster, question is, how important is romance in a relationship? My last relationship ended because she did see me in a romantic way. Even though we connected on every other level. Oh, she didn't see you in a romantic way? Even though we connected on every other level and ticked every other box for us to be together. We had a great connection. We were the best of friends. We had nearly everything in common, but she didn't see me in a romantic way. Yeah. It's a big question, but what I don't want you to think is that the takeaway is that, like, in this pie, that, like, romance is this huge overarching thing. I'm sorry, that must have been tough.
Yeah.
That must have been hard. I find that can feel harder sometimes than, like, if there's like a clean break because, like, something happened. Not to say that one's better than the other, because I don't find things in a linear way. I don't see anything as linear. And romance is, there's a special kind of chemistry in romance that's important for that specific kind of partnership. Because there's a difference in that platonic love versus that, like, extra thing that makes it a romantic relationship where you're involved in a different type of intimacy. There's the sexual component, and the intimacy within a romantic partnership runs a different kind of deep than a platonic friendship. They both run as deep as each person is willing to go, but in a romantic relationship, there is a depth that we cannot reach with platonic friends. And if she didn't see you in that way, did you see her in that way? Or when she brought it up, did you also see those things? That's my first question. Something I learned recently is I used to say often that, oh, we tick each other's boxes. But that means that the person is like a checklist. I've reduced what I am looking for to something that I can imagine. So I've limited myself. But I understand that compatibility is incredibly important. I am a very neurospicy person, and compatibility is very important. Because I require a depth and openness that not many people are willing to reach. So you saw her romantically. How are you doing? Was this a long time ago, or is this something like recent that you're still working through? Yeah. 6 months is hard. Did you know her for a long time? Or how long were you together?
That's what I was just going to ask.
And sometimes these things just don't line up. Sometimes they don't, and sometimes they don't make sense. They don't make sense for what we can see. I've been in situations on both sides where I've not been seen romantically, or where I have felt all of these things line up except the thing that I would need to make it go forward. And I can't speak for another person, so without them here, I can't really say I can't give you the full scope of what I believe what I can see, right? I can't estimate another person. For me, if I were to have seen all of these wonderful qualities and that romantic part wasn't there, it wouldn't take away any of those things about the person, and it wouldn't change any of the value of that person, which is incredibly important, that the value is untouched. It just means that romantic component, that you two aren't matching there. Something isn't. So something later might come up, that because if you were together at that point, if you had tried to fight through it but the romantic component isn't there, then maybe like getting through that conflict would have been the breaking point. Or like, right, like with an uneven dynamic there, it would be really hard to push forward, because then it would be forced and unauthentic on her part. We've known each other about a year and a bit. We were together maybe a month, but the feelings between us were there for some time before that, but there were some complications. Okay, that's fair. I respect that. I would say that's about the time where you start to realize whether or not those things are there. Hopefully you had a conversation together and she was open with you, and it was like an amicable conversation, even though it's not a great one. But it's better to not pursue something when the romantic component is not there than it is to push through feelings because logically this all lines up. I think it would be helpful to look at multiple perspectives on how to approach like what you look for and what you're looking for in a partner, then so that you can compare and use like multiple trinkets from these languages. Because if I say one thing, it's only from one language. So like, while I think romance is very important, it's also very important that you have these things there. It is very important that you're connected on those levels. But if you're not connected in a romantic way, I worry you weren't connected in an intimate way.
I was just gonna say that. I was gonna say, if we go back to answering the question, how important is romance in a relationship? It is the relationship.
Yeah.
Or else it's a friendship, or it's just two people who know each other.
It has to have that.
Also, I don't know the specifics of what's going on, but things could have started with that romantic spark.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is that there have been complications. We won't get into what those complications are, but sparks can easily turn into, like, you end up drifting in and out of almost like trauma bond territory.
Oh, it depends.
Where you're not. It
depends.
Not saying that that's what happens.
Right. It could. Yeah, but like
that feeling sometimes pushes people away.
Yeah.
As a form of I don't know the specifics of these people's lives, but for some people, it doesn't matter that the romance was there. If something happened and there was something I couldn't get past,
yeah,
or like it was crossing one of my boundaries, then that romance can fizzle instantly.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm making myself less.
Yeah.
Or like I will have to intrinsically lose something to keep this.
Right. There's many reasons that like can stop or be or be impeded, right? It could be blocked, or it can fizzle, or it can fade.
Or it can change into something else.
Or it can change into something else.
I've dated people who have become very close friends of mine.
Yeah.
Because it didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there was a break, but intrinsically, like, I don't want to lose these people from my life.
Right. And then it takes time.
A new set of boundaries.
Yeah, it takes time, and then you kind of revisit it, because like, hey, it was really great hanging out with that person, and we like brought the best out in each other, and maybe that romantic part wasn't there for a million reasons, for this reason, but like that romance falls under the category of getting miscategorized like intimacy. Yes. Intimacy is not just sex, and romance is not like Hallmark. What romance is to me is being able to feel somebody and being intimate with them in that space. And what being intimate is in that space is knowing that my soul is safe. But it also takes a lot of brave space for that, not just safe space. Because relationships are scary as fuck. They are. I'm not here to tell you they're easy. As somebody who's trying to find and build a family, it's not easy.
It's an ebb and flow at best.
It's an ebb and flow. And so it takes a lot of bravery to meet yourself and your fears constantly. And it gets easier over time. And then some of those dissipate. And some of those go away. And then you might have new ones. But you build resilience and you build strength and you build and fortify a stronger love through those experiences. But that part's got to be mutual, or else eventually you're gonna feel crushed, because you're gonna feel that person doesn't feel the same way, and it's gonna make you want to change yourself, and you should never want to change yourself. You should want to grow, right? Like, you should want to grow for you. You should want to do good for you, but change intrinsic parts of yourself to for another is in no good territory. But let me know how you feel about that, Robster. For sure. It's a dialogue. Because we're only just hearing about this, so I definitely am doing my best from little bits. Thank you for sharing that. I'm happy to talk with you. Wolf, I'm gonna just say this. My last relationship I was in 2020. The girl I was with was lazy, messy, disrespectful, and a liar. Me and her argued so much the last time I almost left her at the store. She always came up with an excuse for everything. Guy tried to make like I'm the bad guy. Tried using me for my money. Didn't respect me or anyone. Even her friend, which I known way before her, told me I should leave her because they didn't know how she treated me. They didn't like how she treated me. That's really tough, Wolf. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say there was a lot of reasons that you were with this person, because the first thing I'm learning about her are all negative traits. So what I would ask you is, then why would you be with someone unless they developed? So if these traits came about after, I would say why, right? Like, she's not here to defend herself in that way. Why is she lazy, messy? What made her disrespectful? And I'd also ask myself, why am I receiving her like that? So if I dated someone and that's how I felt about them, I'd ask, why am I receiving them like that? Why am I with them? What were the qualities that attracted me to them? What happened? Why was she making excuses for everything?
Yeah.
Like, because it seems like a very like a situation, like, why would you be in that? But also we get into these relationships because there's something about the person that we're attracted to. So something must have happened that you don't obviously have to share. But if these things come about and develop, like after the 3 or 6 to 8 month mark, or after the year mark, when things start to really come out, and the 3-year mark, which is another exit ramp, the 7-year mark, which is another exit ramp, after these things start to develop, it's also important for us to realize that we're going to mirror each other. And so then, like, I would ask, so like, okay, what am I seeing? Why am I seeing that? What am I seeing? How am I? Who am I in this part, in this relationship? What am I bringing to the table? How did I end up here? Because they must have an experience with you too.
Yeah, is there any validity in you being the bad guy?
Yeah.
If they are mentioning that. Like, both parties have to take accountability.
Yeah. A relationship is never 100-0. Like, something could happen between us hanging out. Just here as buddies. And if Tucker would shout at me, like, he's not just shouting at nothing. I'd have to go, why is he shouting? Right? Like, if I really care about him, I'd ask why. And then I would ask myself, what did I, like, how am I affecting the situation? If I'm receiving him as, like, oh my God, like, he's acting crazy over here, he's just shouting at nothing, I'd be like, but he doesn't do that because I know him. So he doesn't do that, right? I'm hanging out with him. We're here. I have him on the show. He's editing the show. He's the editor-chief majoris. Then I'd have to be like, why is that happening? And then I'd have to enact empathy. Because right here, there doesn't seem to be any empathy, which I wonder, which I hope you all take forward a little bit. And empathy is a little bit different than sympathy. There's strength in empathy. Don't let somebody tell you anything else. It is hard to be empathetic because it requires a lot of forgiveness and understanding.
I mean, it's also one of the only ways people really learn. You know, you can't learn without making mistakes, perceiving those mistakes, and pushing forward through them, and explaining.
And being willing to see outside of your own mirror, outside of your own lens, to see what it would be like, not from your shoes in mine, but what it would be like in my shoes.
Yeah.
Not like a dude in my shoes, but what it would be like to be me.
Yeah.
That takes a lot to do. Robster, this has made a lot of sense to be fair, and it has gone away to help me make sense of it all. I'm so glad, Robster. Thank you so much. We're still very close, so the friendship is still very much there. It's given me a lot to think about, so I can only thank you for helping me through this. Not gonna lie, it's got me a bit teary, but I'm just gonna see that as a positive thing, as me accepting what it is. It does make sense. It does. The good stuff always makes me cry. Yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna get really emotional. Robster, I appreciate you so much. Please, please, please check, like, feel free to DM me. Like, you can catch me through the Discord. I always get back as soon as I can. The Discord is there for all of us. And I continue Threat of Intimacy talks. And I continue this same kind of thing. So if you need any kind of shoulder along the way, Tucker and I and a group of us are there.
Yeah, I'm lurking all the time.
Yeah, to kind of like, hey, like, if you need something, like, I throw a yellow heart, like, you got it. Like, it's really, really hard to go through these things, and it's hard to process. And when, like, a lot of the root of this show came from, like, but, like, how does anyone go through any of these really tough things without, like, a soundboard? Just, like, someone to talk, even just like that, like, just tell me about your story. And sometimes even you just telling your story, you hear it and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel this way about it. And getting to do that, in my experience, has been a huge help in, like, navigating waters. And so if I can give a space where everyone can just bring that kind of stuff and talk here on the Discord, live, like, any of those things, then I want to continue to do that and make it better every time.
Nice.
I got Wolf. She was good when we first met and everything. Those traits developed afterwards. She was pretty on the outside, and we got along at first, but it started going downhill after the first month. It's a long story behind it. I would actually have to talk to you to explain everything. It's going to be on the Discord too. I got you. I got you. There is a link for anybody in the chat if you want to call in on the guest cam, on the collab, the guest star collab cam, Rama Jamma, then you are more than welcome to. Did this fall out of the shot? Oh, that's so cute. It's like slowly like melted away. But yeah, you're more than welcome to click the link in the chat and join. If it's a longer story, no worries if you want to just pop in. There's a cam now, Van. If you want to call in, there's a link.
Yeah.
Just, I think...
We have the technology.
I think this is the thing. Yep. You're welcome to call in. I am going to set up the voice Discord so that in case you don't want to be on camera, you're absolutely, by the next show, we're going to have that figured out. We just have to, like, put on the little thing so y'all can, like, call in.
Yeah.
Like a talk show. Like this one. Like a talk show, though. Like this one, but a talk show. You're more than welcome to click the link, and we'll try it out.
Yeah.
That should work. Yeah, so if any of y'all want to do that, that's super cool and welcome. We're here for that. Oh, Robster, on my Twitch page, there is a link to the Reasonably Radical Realm. You're welcome. You're welcome to invite people. Let me know if you need help with that.
It's also right under your About.
Oh, it's under my About.
Right under the screen we're watching.
Right under the screen. I'm going to try and, like...
I'll throw it in here.
There we go. Oh, we got it. We're gonna get a little ad ski there. Hey, we did it! Look at that.
Nice.
How did we do it? Let's see if we can. Can I hear you?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
And I can't hear you though.
You can't hear me. Okay.
Where is my sound? Let me check my sound.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, so it is on my headset. Oh, you can hear him on the stream? Oh, maybe my headset. Okay, my headset turned off because it was like, you're not being used. Hello?
Hello?
There we go. Now I can hear you. I just had my headset off this whole time. Perfect. Well, it goes off. It's like automatic. So it was probably on for however long. And then it was like, girl, you are not using me. I'm going to just take a battery rest. There we go. Look, we did it.
It works.
It works. Welcome to the Threat of Intimacy, Wolf.
Hi. Dang, I was just testing out of curiosity. I don't know if I have a question off the top of my head and everything.
That's okay. You could top.
Thanks for helping.
Yeah. You could top of your head anything you like. Buster's here to support you and say hello.
Hello, Buster.
Froo.
Let me take a deep breath and just gather my... Well, I guess the only thing I know it's not something people are supposed to brag when it comes to, like, I've been to therapy, I've done the work, and the work is ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I got to get over myself. Just going to what I may have talked about in the beginning of the stream.
Yeah. Oh, Van! Oh, is this Van?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Van. Oh, I thought it was Wolf because Wolf had asked tell me. So I said Wolf and I was looking. Hey, Van, I'm so sorry. I'm over here and I can barely see.
Oh, it's okay. Like, I got this light behind me and I'm like, oh, can they see me or?
No, I got you now. I know your voice, though. I should have known better.
Okay.
I should have known better by your voice. My bad. But yeah, from earlier in the Discord, go ahead. From earlier in the chat, go ahead.
Yeah, like, it's one of those things that's constant for me. It's just trying to get over myself, get out of my own way. For the longest time, and that's something, I don't know why I can't do it. Like, my body telling me that I can, my emotions telling me I can, but there are days I'm just like, dude, I'm tired, I know I need to rest. Like, just overcoming all the trauma I've been through feels like every day is like a rest day. Every day is a day I just need to, like, regather myself, and then maybe the next day I'll be able to turn it around. I don't know. It's always not about me. Now that I'm starting to know myself.
No, I get it. I get it. I'm going, like, I want to tell you, I'm going through the same thing. I'm tired.
It's emotional burnout.
Yeah. What it sounds like, what it sounds like is burnout.
Yeah.
Uh,
This sounds like burnout, baby.
it could be burnout.
But you're working hard. And also, like, healing. Oh my gosh. I think there's, because you bring up a really good point, that, like, healing is hard work.
It
And it takes
is.
a lot out of you. I try to plan, like, therapy bookended with, like, my version of spa, because I can't always afford spa. Like, I can't. Sometimes spa is me at home with some hot towels and soap.
Mm.
But but I think if there's a space for that with all the work that you're doing to like recuperate, to like feed, nourish yourself. I think the only way that we're gonna get out of bed, you and I, is by like pumping up some juice, like emotional juice, like the equivalent of fresh pineapples. Hopefully you're not allergic. I have a friend that is, but hopefully you're not allergic. It's like fresh pineapples, some mango, some like melon for inflammation. Like we need that to like really regenerate.
Yeah. Like for me, the only thing that motivates me every morning is at least the ability to wake up,
Yeah,
the ability to get out of bed, the ability to like
Yeah, you need to be thankful for
know that I'm alive.
yeah, yeah. You have
That's
another
just enough
day.
for me. Just another day.
It's another day. That means you got another chance. That means you get more rest.
Yeah,
You get another day of rest.
and to add to that, that
yeah. It's always hard
you should take that
to.
same feeling and push that towards your emotions. Every day you're getting another chance
Yeah.
to try something, even if it doesn't work. Just try it.
Yeah, like, well, like, let's get a little more specific. What do you, like, is there anything we could help with? Or just be in here?
Oh man, I don't know anything that particularly help with because I usually just try to carry it on my own for such a long time.
Yeah, we're both
Like,
incredibly independent as well.
yeah, I mean, I gotta be independent.
Yeah.
Like, it's the only way I can function some days. I don't think people get that. Like, I have to. I like. I think I told somebody I was trying to date one time because they were just trying to get to know me. I was like, I literally told them. I told them this, and then I told my brother this. It's like I'm okay with you doing your own thing without me. Like I'm okay with that. And I told my brother that. He's like, dude, why are you just trying to push her away? I was like, I'm not pushing them away. I, I'm just telling them, hey, you want to go out, do something that's on you, that's your time, that doesn't involve me. I'm okay with that. We don't have to be attached at the hip.
Yeah, you're being supportive. That's incredibly supportive.
Yeah, your partner should have some form of
Autonomy.
independence.
Yeah. I think what's very healthy is a healthy interdependence.
Yeah.
People don't necessarily understand what codependence is. It used to really bother me online because codependence is like a hot word. It's a hot word, and when you study psychology for a little bit, and I'm a baby in it. I just graduated, but I feel like I'm a baby in it. I'm like, oh my god, stop! But I think like that's like a healthy caution to have, where it just might not it just might not ring to other people's ears well. What you're saying is good, but I can understand if people have a fear or an anxiety built around pushing people away, keeping people close. If that dance is still a struggle for people to interpret, then they might not hear you as supportive because they're coming from an insecure lens.
Yeah.
So that might be like if I'm still me at 20 blah blah blah, and you're like, you could go do your own thing on your own, and you're saying it with no inflection. You're just saying it as a supportive man. You're just trying to be there. My old brain would be like, on my own, but like we just met. Like you already want me to be on my own? But that's me. That's me. That's not you. If somebody's hearing it that way, that's them. because 30 blah blah me hears that and I go, that's incredible. I'm incredibly independent as well. I do believe in autonomy. I want to support you in the things that you love to do that make you you. I also like do my own thing and I really hope that we can like collaborate on our interests while supporting each other through these individual parts of our lives so it brings us closer together.
Ex- exactly. Exactly. I was thinking for the longest time, this is something I need to get over. I'm okay with listening to myself now and just going like, hey, you know what you want. You everybody can question it, but as long as you stay fun with it. So you actually just helped me out with something. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
That keep doing what you're doing and if you're finding that you're saying it and like people aren't like hearing it, just listen and watch how they're reacting and that will give you an answer as to where they're at
Mm,
and that will help you navigate finding what you need, which is somebody that's going to respond to you probably closer to how I did. With that kind of like,
maybe
yeah, like of course you have things you want to do on your own. Like, hell yeah, I look forward to supporting you and going to see you do the thing that makes you you.
exactly. Like people should be okay being an individual and having a supportive partner. It's like I don't want my identity to become my relationship.
Yeah. And I think that's a great conversation to have with someone where
Mhm.
because if they're also just meeting you too, I can understand as being the person receiving, I'm also looking for clues like, oh, are they saying I need to go do things because they have a fear of intimacy? So then getting to know you more and understanding that you're grounded, understanding that you have a wider picture of yourself, like a more holistic view of yourself, then I know that you're saying it the way that I want to hear it because I'm coming from that end. Rather than when I hear people that try to say that same thing you're saying and they try to use that, but they're coming from a keep distance. Because the people that are hearing you that way, it can be them, yes, but it can also be them because they learned that. That's a learned behavior.
Mm,
So as someone who hears it and go, well, then why is he pushing me away already? Yeah, I have a concern with that, but why? I have to work on something with me, but also I was treated that way. Somebody treated me that way. So there's a lot of empathy that goes in with that of like, all right, how do I find out if somebody is on the same page with me about autonomy and interdependence? That would be a clue where I'd be like, hey, I'm super independent, but I really believe in interdependence. What does that mean? Like, oh, well, what do you like to do that makes you you? And have them start talking about themselves. And then be like, you know what I like to do? I like to do this. Now tell them about you. And then cross them and then be like, you know what? That's super cool that you do that. I bet it would be great if my hobby and your hobby can mingle. But I love to support you in what you do. And there'll be days like that, right? But you can already get a feel that there will be days where you're doing your thing and they're doing their thing. But you're coming in understanding where they're coming from, and it might not like you might get in through the back door to understand them first, and then it would be easier to ask them like yeah, I you know why I feel this way, and then you could tell them I've been treated this way or I've had this in my experience. I have been this person before. I'm not that person anymore. And they could be like, no way. And that will always 9 times out of 10 that opens the floodgates because they'll be like, oh my gosh, yeah, when somebody says it to me, I'm usually worried about this, but you seem so supportive and like I would love to figure that out, right? Like that's usually like a nice transition. Maybe that can help navigate.
that does help. That really helps because after working through some of my stuff, I openly acknowledge that I have more of a feminine energy to myself, but also the masculine as well. Like, I do want to be supportive. I do want to take care of my house, but I do carry myself in a very confident manner. Like, that's something. I always like to go out there to myself.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
we've had conversations. I think like we have really great conversations, and you're on that emotional awareness journey, and you're so open that it would be a shame to like cut off at such an early conversation with you if you're on a date with somebody because you have a lot to offer, so we don't know where they're at yet. You know, like we don't know.
Well, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so much for allowing me on. I hope you have a great night.
Yeah, thanks for popping on. It's good to see you. And the
Good to
light.
see you.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks for being our first guest.
Yay! It works. Yeah, Wolf. Yo, that codependency is it's a bitch. It bites. Yeah, yeah, man, super cool. I'm so glad that works. I'll try and add a couple of them and see what happens. Those are really fun to have.
I also feel like people don't quite know the difference between codependency and interdependency.
Yeah, and the root of codependency wasn't actually negative at first.
No, it wasn't.
It became negative, and then it got like boiled down and reduced.
Yeah, it's supposed to describe a symbiotic relationship, but what it's using as a colloquial term to describe a parasitic relationship.
Yeah, like an unhealthy parasitic relationship. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, did it not? Does it not work for you, Wolf? Now that you're trying to here, try now. Will it work now? Ooh. Who knows? Let's see.
Or do we only get one?
Oh, you're welcome to come on, Wolf. Yeah, unless you don't have time, which I understand, but we do have time if you want to pop on.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Oh, it works. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah, I think it's like because you have to be able to depend on somebody.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that you are reliant in like an unhealthy way just because you're dependent. Like that's also a fear of intimacy.
Also, relationships aren't 50-50.
No, they really
Sometimes
aren't.
it's going to be 95-5.
Yeah, and
But
then
as long
that's
as
not
that moves.
as long as you're talking about it
Yeah.
and communication stays open, there's a shot.
I
And
think it's-
I also always recommend therapy.
Yes.
I can't recommend therapy enough. Find the therapist that works for you. Find a couples therapist. My Aunt Teresa was on last episode of Threat of Intimacy. I can't say enough good things about her work. And group therapy is also, it can help affordability wise. And you also get reps and practice in all of these types of things, like all of these interpersonal situations. So that can be a way to practice in group therapy. The Eartha Kitt methodology. But yeah, it used to really bother me when I was called codependent. I grew up with a very loving mother who taught me, oh God, just everything. But I think one of those like important things is how to ask questions within myself, and also how to be a person with someone. Like we were each other's teammates because like she raised me in a house, but it was just her and I. So being called codependent really struck a chord because I didn't see the things I was doing as unhealthy. I just wanted a partner. I just wanted someone to be my partner, to do things with me.
See, I find that interesting because I was also called codependent in therapy.
Oh, you're called codependent in therapy?
I asked how, because I'm a very independent person. So what I was told is that when you become so independent that you basically take on a leadership role in a relationship, you can inadvertently turn your relationship from two equals into a parent-child relationship.
Yeah.
And that was the role that I had fallen into because I thought I was helping my partner, but what I was doing was hindering her from growing emotionally and handling her own issues. I was supposed to be there to support, But what I ended up doing was doing the task.
Just do.
So sometimes a part of being codependent isn't exactly relying on someone.
Yeah,
it's making someone rely on you inadvertently. So there's two sides to that coin.
Yeah, it's true. That's a really good point. Is like
it took me months. I was talking to my therapist like, what? How?
Yeah, codependent.
Please
how?
Tell me. I do this.
I do. Here is my list.
This little thing over here. And yeah, my dumpster's on fire.
How am I? Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Because I'm definitely nurturing.
So that's what I was wondering. Were you told you were codependent? But
not by a therapist, by the person in the relationship.
Because that's a little bit different. Because I was going to say, was it the same situation I was in, where you were just taking control of the situation?
I gotta think back on that. I think in a way, looking back, yeah. I mean, I learned a lot from that experience because being codependent in that way by not a therapist, it meant the colloquial hot button word. You know, it meant that it took on that meaning, saying that I was like, you know, in an unhealthy way, like relying on somebody, right? Like it was a parasitic situation. But really it was like, hey, I'm like here and I need my partner. I
find it interesting.
But also I'm very independent.
So it's like
and
knowing you, I would be like, if you said help, there was help needed.
By the time I said help,
by the time you said it.
It was after I had been in a soft cast doing it. It was after
rolling down the
dumpster was on fire, struck by lightning, rolling down a hill, like led by. Yeah, how often do I do the Threat of Intimacy on Sundays? Now, guests will be every other Sunday. I'm also setting it up so every Sunday is the Threat of Intimacy, but we're gonna do Q&As like this. It'll also sometimes it will just be me and you all. I have the wheel here in the background, and it's gonna have like fun, kind of like it'll have like a name on it or a title or something, a genre. Genre is the word I'm looking for, and then we'll spin it, and then we can ask questions within that. I will ask you all what questions you want under that. It's kind of like a very adjacent Jeopardy format for the wheel. So like one of the wheel slithers will say something like butt stuff. And if it lands on butt stuff, then you all get to come up with questions like, oh, I'm very curious about this and this topic. And then you can ask me a question because I will never ask you to be vulnerable in a way that I will not be vulnerable. That's the deal. Because that's intimacy. As deep as you're willing to go, I'm willing to go. Ha-hoo! I can handle it. I can go as deep as we need to go.
Stuff, we mean the nitty gritty.
And butt stuff.
Yes, and butt stuff.
But also the nitty gritty. Say it, Thor. Mm-hmm. My man. There you go, Van. Love yourself the way you want to be loved. And the other person is allowed to love you that way. And I learned a lot about learning love languages of people. Like, the person doesn't have to love you in a very specific way because that's your love language. But it is kind when that person learns your love language because that's a sign of love. Their love language is also extremely valid and super important that we're understanding and learning because that's how we're communicating. As a bilingual person, you can never learn enough languages. If someone... I want to get past physical touch. Like, I'm tired of that being... It's not physical touch. Physical touch is not just a love language. Move past it. And I don't mean that as like a to brush you off. I just mean like, go deeper. I am challenging you. I'm double dog daring you. If you're saying your love language is just physical touch, go deeper. Yeah. Ask yourself deeper questions. Move the needle in here. Because
what even got you to the realm of you getting those physical touches?
Like, I want more of this. I want more something else. Or what's the random act of kindness that's moving you? Like, what's changing your day from having the worst day ever to like, oh, it's not so bad.
I mean, for me, physical touch isn't a base love language. It's an expression.
It's an expression of
of a language that's already there.
Yeah.
Just think about it. How did you get, what I said before, how did you get to that point? You were courting that person. You
Yeah.
weren't courting them by just touching them. You know what I mean? Like, there's something else, and that is your love language that got you to that point.
It's really funny though. It's like, yes. Yo, Van, you and I both. I did graduate with creative writing as a part of my degree. I loved it. I wish I had done more with it, but that's why I'm going back for a master's with positive psychology and neuroscience, and hopefully they'll let me take screenwriting. Gonna get to take it when I took my bachelor's. But it's a very exciting class that my friend is in right now. I love creative writing. As a part of my offer for like vulnerability, I was going to read some of my pieces throughout like some of the episodes, but I'll probably post them on TikTok so y'all could just share that and enjoy. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, let's see what do we got. I think that's like the first thing of the wheel that really excites me. I also like awkward aardvark, where you dish on an awkward intimate moment, and it could be anything from like, oh my god, this one time at a Starbucks, my pant, like something happened embarrassing out in public, but you were there with like a few people, and that's a very intimate thing that you and those people that you'll never see again will never speak of or probably tell your friends for the rest of your life. Or an intimate moment that was also super awkward in like a failed or was it successful courting situation. That could always happen. It could happen. The awkward aardvark situation could happen in Sexy Times USA, but also be successful. You can recover.
Oh, yes.
You could also not recover and recover later. There's a great thing about pause is that you can call pause.
Sometimes a fart can be funny. Other times it can clear a room.
Whoa. Fart gets the follow. Yo. Wolf though, I have a deep passion for alliteration. If you've got good alliterations, you have my attention. And so I was looking at things to put on the wheel, and I was like, what goes with awkward? And we were writing up stuff for the episode and like looking up all the stuff, all the questions we had been asked and all that. And I was like thinking to myself, of all the animals that begin with A, I came up with aardvark first. I could have called that anything.
Ant.
Awkward ant. Like, Ant-Man's one of my favorites. Could have said ant. Could have even named it, like, miscellaneous. Like, it used to be when you would call in anonymously, it used to be something like, it was like Anonymous Annie or something. Like, it had a name for those old talk shows you would call in. I'm dating myself now. And I could have come up with, like, a name.
Call me now.
Call now. I can't wait to do this.
I think I still owe your mom money to Miss Cleo.
Yo. So one day, do you remember how old we were? We were like 13.
We were 13. Yeah, I think we were 13 or 12.
Yeah, it was before high school.
Yeah.
It was before high
It
school.
was in the days of dial-up internet with AIM.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it was still Holy Family. It was still Holy Family. We got that, like, those like
3, 4.
mediums. No, because we graduated in 05.
Yeah, that had to be like
the 90s.
99.
Oh, hi.
I'll be right back.
Oh, I think Santa Claus is here. It's the only reason we're getting that reaction. Santa Claus is here. So it's, I don't know, 1990 blah blah, and we get the wild idea to call this psychic Cleo. Miss Cleo? Was it Miss Cleo? Miss Cleo. And she had the crystal ball, and she read your fortune. And, nobody was home. We had the dial-up, and it was a small group of us from Holy Family. We would just like pile into my house, and like we called Miss Cleo and like spent a lot of money that we had to then pay. My mom was so heated. So heated. I remember I was gonna marry. Oh, I was gonna marry someone with the first letter A, and oh God, who she gave Janet a fortune. Janet had to be with us because Janet was with us through all of that stuff. And I don't remember what Tucker got, but we were all crowded over a phone trying to get a fortune, and it cost like a gajillion dollars. It was just, and Mom was like, "Why do you need to know your future from Miss Cleo?" I was like, she sounded very convincing. Oh my God. We did. We called Miss Cleo. Oh yeah, and like, yeah, Tucker still owes my mom money. I gotta call Janet. I just remind her. Yeah, we were all like hovered over a phone that still had a cord. Probably, actually, there was two. I had a cord phone, and I did have a wireless. I had a wireless phone, but we still had cord phones in the house. I called the WCW hotline, racked up a huge bill. Luckily, my mom knew one of the operators who deleted the calls. Oh, that is so sweet. Oh, coming in clutch. Coming in clutch. That's awesome. Oh, call me now. I can't believe y'all called. Look, I'm saying she was very convincing. So I just, I mean, we all had to find out. And sometimes you just got to find out by calling Miss Cleo. I don't recommend now. Oh, I hope she's okay. I hope she's living all right. Like, hope she's doing well. I really do. Because she worked hard. Miss Cleo worked real hard. I wonder if the operator still works. If that phone number still works. Talk about corded phones. Yeah, I remember the rotary phones. Like in one of our creative writing classes, we were writing like, oh God, I can't remember the prompt, but one of the writers in our class like wrote a very like evocative line about a rotary phone, and like using like the sound it makes, and like doesn't say it's a rotary phone at all, but just describes poetically like the sound and the clicking and the length of time it takes to spell your phone number, like that. And I was just like, it was just such a like, first of all, it was a very poetic way to refer to a rotary phone, and I found it extremely sexy. I was like, okay, because I had to read it twice, and I was like, you gotta do how many click. Oh my god, they spelled my number right. Like they spelled it, like it was really hot. I have to go find that line. It's gonna kill me. Yeah, like I was like, oh, you better publish that, because if not, like I'm gonna save this file and I'll have to attach your name to it because I think you deserve the credit, but still, it's gotta get out there. But it was so cool. Like, yeah, imagine spelling your name by a rotary phone, but it was done very poetically. Oh, we were talking about. I'll catch you up on it.
Oh yeah.
Sexy poems.
I was gonna say you got a long name.
Oh my god. See. If you get in tune with your body and listen to your dreams, you actually learn your future. Yeah, Miss Cleo had it right the whole time. You're
Cleo
right,
didn't
Van.
Pass away. She just merely got closer to her fan base.
Yeah, Miss
I can probably still call another medium, and she'll say, "Call me now."
sexy phones, like the one that Gloria gets Jay in Modern Family. There's a I desperately want this phone. There's two things I want that are like wants. It's the old Felix the Cat phone, like the clock, but like not Felix the Cat. It's the thing Felix the Cat's based off of, but the old clock with the eyes. It's super expensive. I can't afford it. So the old vintage cat clock. And there's a corded phone of lips. It's just lips. And in Modern Family, Sofia Vergara's character gives Jay Pritchett this lip phone, and he goes, "A phone?" And he goes, "Wait a minute, let me guess. It's a sexy phone because I wanted saxophone lessons." And she goes, "Yeah!" And I thought it was the greatest thing ever.
This would be the phone she's talking about.
And he was like, "This is the best present." Because, like, that's, because you wanted a sexy phone. It's fantastic. Yeah. If we could get that and I could link that somehow to, like, this whole setup and, like, I have a sexy phone.
Phone?
Yeah.
Make that
Yeah, I do. I do want a sexy phone. So I want people to call in a sexy phone. For the threat of intimacy. Call my sexy phone. And we can put up the call now. It'll be great. It's good. This is going exactly the direction I needed to. Oh my god, it was terrible. I missed it. My microphone was right in the way of that. There's a great video out there of a dad telling his two teen sons that if they can call his cell with a rotary phone, they'd each get $100. They did not get $100. Yo, that's so tragic. That is so tragic. If anybody leaves here with anything, please, y'all, teach a young child how to use a rotary phone. Doesn't have to be your own.
Seen one of these?
Yeah, I had one.
Ooh, so you're ready for your rotary phone.
I'm ready. I'm ready for the rotary.
She's got the little pen.
I'm ready. Yeah, we had Pop and Mom in the house. Like, Grandma and Grandpa don't slack. Grandma with the nails. Always, you gotta have a little Penske. Always. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to have a rotary phone again and then be like immediately frustrated because we're so used to everything as like the push of a button. It's gonna be really, really good. Let's see what we really got. We covered a lot today. And I can't wait to put stuff up in the Discord too. Oh my god, oh god. How do you know if you're crossing a boundary? Do we want to do Do we want to go to how we go? Hey, buddy.
I mean, how would that even work? A smartphone with a rotary interface?
I don't know.
Would my wheel be on the back? I mean, if it was like a bump it, like that could work.
Yeah. It could probably work though. It could probably work.
I mean, it would stop me from butt dialing people.
It would stop me from butt dialing people. It could probably work if it was like a stream deck. Like, what if the rotary, like, did stuff? You could program it.
Yeah, true. God forbid what Siri would do with it.
Listen, me and Siri have...
We're in a love-hate relationship.
I can't even say
like, hey,
it.
Baby, you
oh,
need something?
no.
And I'm like, no, I don't need nothing.
Here's what we found. Here's what we found for. And it's something completely different.
Yeah, because
sorry.
Siri always ends up picking up the thing like now, like butt stuff. That's what it'll pick up. Be like, hi, I heard
here's
you
what
like
we
butt
found
stuff.
for butt stuff. And then we're like, no!
Yep.
Calling. And then it's like, oh God, no, make it stop.
Yep, Amazon, butt stuff.
Have you,
You need an ashtray? We got you.
Have you seen the movie, Jexy? It's what's his face from Workaholics? I love him. What's his face? And he's also the Manny in Modern Family. But he's like, he gets a new phone, and it's Jexy, and he gets a new phone and it turns it on, and then it's like, do you want us to program it or whatever? And he's like, yeah, sure. And then it's like, are you sure? And he says, yeah. And then it's like, are you fucking stupid? And he's like, what? Like his phone says it. So it's him with like a smartphone that tries to like seriously do his life. Yeah. And then is like, no, you need to eat a salad. And he's like, I would like this whatever food that he gets all the time. And they're like, no, I think you need a salad. And it orders it for him, and it just like takes over. It's really good. If y'all want to laugh and also like to take a look at ourselves, you should probably look at Jexy. It's a good watch.
Night Turbo.
Night Turbo. Oh my gosh, I just got a message from my mom.
Yep, she heard about it. I told you. She's gonna be like, well,
Did
Anthony
you?
still owes me.
Did she message you too?
She sent me a Miss Cleo phone bill.
Oh my god, she did. She did. She said, I remember Miss Cleo, you little stinker.
Yes. I believe I was banned for the house for over a week.
That could have been one of the times.
Cold.
That could have been one of the times that you got broomed out of the house.
Yeah. Oh man. I remember going home and my mom didn't even know what Miss Cleo was. So she was like, why are you calling some Cleo girl?
And now you owe Miss Solo $50.
Yep.
Which is like a gajillion dollars when we were kids.
Oh man, yeah, that was great. My mom was like, you're over Solo's house. Who is this? I let you go over there and you're just calling some woman.
She's going to tell
my
us.
mom what a 1-800 number is.
Oh my god. Yo, I think so. Like, all right, so like we have a handful of questions left, and like we're at like 2:30. I think we're gonna cover the boundary one on the next episode. I kind of want to leave like an open ended because I want to see what people have to say about it, and if it stews over some time.
And we can always continue this tonight in the Discord.
Yeah, we are. We're gonna continue it in the Discord, but like I do want to like let it marinate. I want to hear what you all think about boundaries. How do you know if you're crossing a boundary? How do you manage and how do you react or how do you deal with when someone crosses your boundary? Tell me about your feelings with boundaries. That's probably going to be within the experiential assignment. What I'm going to do for the experiential assignment for this week, which I didn't get to read my journal today, but I will just share that in the Threat of Intimacy Discord.
That's why it's there.
That's why it's there. I implore you to do 3 random acts of kindness that are within your bandwidth. So there's 2 parts to this. It can be anything, but it has to be something you've never done before. It can't be like, oh, well, sometimes I buy people a coffee at Starbucks. No, it's got to be something new and slightly out of your comfort zone, right? Like it has to be slightly different, but not so much where you're out of bandwidth, right?
So you want us to be in that movie Pay It Forward with Haley Joel Osment?
Yes.
Yeah. You do one big nice thing. It'll
Yes.
change the world.
Oh, fireworks is happening. Yeah. That's why. So this is going to be a perfect time. So what I'm going to do is document 3 random acts of kindness, what they are, how it feels, how did they react? Those are the observations. What prompted me to do that? Is there a reason? So I want like a bit of self-inquiry with that. Like, why did you pick that? How did it feel? Was it fun? It should be fun. That's the thing. It should be fun. And then how did you feel like the next day? So 3 within a week, because we're going to be here next Sunday. I'm going to stream other things throughout the week, but the Threat of Intimacy will be here next Sunday, probably in like another form like this. And yeah, and then we'll announce more details later. I don't want to announce too much, but I just want to take a moment to thank everyone so much for their shares and for like really bringing it this show. I've loved all the questions. I love all the emails and the DMs. I love the connecting and the wild Discord and you all, being super loving when I just decide it's the time where I'm going to go shopping for more plants. Thank you so much for all the love and affection. I love you all. Stay hydrated. This has been amazing. Do you have any final thoughts? Final thoughts here, closing.
Exactly what you said. I want to thank everyone for a wonderful night tonight. I had a lot more fun than I thought it would be, which is great.
Yeah, usually behind the cameras.
Usually, behind the cameras.
Yeah.
I'm the one, wrangling the puppies off screen.
Yeah. You're making the scenes work, and you've joined us outside here, so it's really, really great. So stay tuned. Catch me on Insta at Regulation Solo Darling. Catch the Discord here on twitch.tv/Solo Darling or YouTube if you're watching from YouTube. Thank you so much. An upload of this will be there immediately and also soon with more links. And
it's live right now.
It's live right now. So I can't wait to see you throughout the week. I'll be announcing, and my schedule for Twitch will be updated this week with all kinds of goodies. I'm really excited about what's coming next. So I can't wait to see you all later. Stay hydrated.